My name is Kala, Arvind Kala. Stop being stupid. Stop buying bottled water. Bottled water sales have been the biggest hoax perpetrated on mankind, and let me prove that with my own example. Right now, I'm sitting in Manali and I have tap water. I go to my village in Uttarakhand and I have tap water there. I go to my home in Delhi. I have tap water there. I go to Goa every year and stay in an oceanside villa belonging to a Goan. I have tap water there. Everywhere I have tap water. If I go to an airport and do susu, and while I wash my hands in the sink, I take a cupful of water rather than reach for the bottled water in my rucksack. Now, my bottled water has water from a tap, which is perfectly safe. But all over the world, it's the biggest hoax perpetrated on mankind, as I said just now. Can you imagine? Bisleri was selling itself to Tata Consumer Products for 7,000 crores. 7,000 crores. I mean, Tata's and all these fellows are selling water to people who don't need to buy it because tap water is absolutely safe. But somehow there's a lie perpetrated throughout the world that that tap water is unsafe. Tap water is unsafe. Now America has the best bloody tap water in the world. But 20% of Americans have bottled water. A lot of bottled water sales everywhere, and tap water in America undergoes more checks than bottled water does, because the public water supply is checked by the EPA, Environment Protection Authority. Yet somehow this hoax has been like that for years. I remember when I was in college. I mean, just off before I forget to mention it. Rumor went around college guys, that we college guys, that if you have gin, you'll go impotent, and the sales of gin dropped immediately. I think some sustained con like this has been perpetrated by the water companies. 7,000 crores for water, which is perfectly safe. Say, fill up a goddamn bottle of water from tap water, nothing will happen. And I'm far from it. I've always had tap water for decades and decades, and nothing has gone wrong with me. And I've spent 11 years in school and 5 years in college, and nobody, forget about me having, everybody had tap water. Nobody fell ill. There would be diarrhea epidemics if the water was contaminated. But here in India, though it's strewn with garbage, the water is absolutely safe. Occasionally, if I get off at a railway station, I drink the water straight like that, like all those laborers do. And it's perfectly safe. Nothing has gone wrong with me. And as you can see, I'm not a WWF wrestler. But bottled water, bottled water, bottled water. I mean, a guy like Virat Kohli has Evian bottled water. The French company, which costs 4,000 rupees a liter. Well, that's all right. He's got the money. He wants to do that. But Ambani and his son would also be having even better water. Some of these those waters overseas, premium water like this, a premium, it's 9,000 rupees a liter. And look at the health of there's Mukesh Ambani and his youngest son who's about to get married. How healthy they look, though they drink the best water. So it is the biggest con perpetrated on mankind. In England, it's the same story. I mean, I went to England a couple of times and I stayed in a B&B in Oxford Street. And the hotel I stayed in, the B&B I stayed in, had a sign saying, this tap water is not safe for drinking. I had an empty bottle. I filled it up with water, and I drank that. Why the hell would I spend 100 rupees on water which I can get for free? I mean, don't be a fool. Why the hell do you fall for an hoax? I mean, it's the biggest bloody hoax perpetrated on mankind. And then the premium waters. Bisleri itself has come out with a premium bottle called Vedika. Now there some people with lots of money who just want to spend that money. So like they say, there's a sucker born every minute. So that's it. And Tata Consumer Products also has a premium water called Himalayan. All these fellows, yeah, I'm fitter than all my friends who drink bottled water. I'm fitter and I'm healthier, and this is the reality. But yet, somehow it's such a con. It's such a con. It's such a con. For water, which is the most abundant element known to man, 70% of the earth is water, and yet everybody thinks tap water is contaminated. Tap water is unsafe. Tap water is unsafe. And the whole we've brainwashed ourselves. Nobody thinks. I am reminded of a Bernard Shaw saying. He said that most people think once or twice in a year. So people don't think this. Don't think at all. I know, a few hundred people do see my video, but they will still have bottled water. They will not have top tap water. Though they don't think I'm telling a tissue of lies. What do I have to gain here by telling a tissue of lies? I don't have to destroy water companies. I drink water from a bloody tap and it's fine. And I'm in Manali. I used to get water from a mountain spring, piped water. Now I get it from the city supply, municipal supply. And both the waters are equally good. Yeah, nothing has gone wrong with me in my long bloody misspent life here. So if I've survived well on tap water, why not others? Do you think India is rich enough for all these laborers working in and carpenters, etc., to spend 20 rupees on a bottle of Bisleri? And wherever you go, what do they do? Bisleri is a reputed company, but a lot of those other companies, they fill up they fill up their plastic bottles with tap water, and they sell they seal the cap and they sell it to you for 10 rupees. So it's like this. It's just a gigantic con. It's a gigantic con. And and let me give you a couple of statistics. I mean, the Americans spend 46 billion dollars on bottled water. The water is absolutely safe. The CDC says that, the Center for Disease Control. They also report that tap water in America is better than the tap water, the bottled water in America, because it undergoes more tests. And Bisleri was selling itself for 175,000 times what it bought the company for. The Chauhan brothers bought Bisleri 56 years ago for 4 crores, and they were selling it for 7,000 crores multiplied by 100, 70,000 crores or whatever. So that is 175,000 times more. I mean, there's a sucker born every minute. So everybody is drinking Red Bull, and they're unable to think. Why the hell are you? Let me give you an example. In Delhi, I have lived in the same house for 37 years. Now, there's an underground tank which the water supply, which fills up every day. And then a booster pump sends the water right up to my rooftop, where I have had a metal tank, which from which I used to get the water in my first floor flat. Now, the thing is, over the years, that the walls of that metal iron water tank became filled with moss. I mean, it was covered with moss. So a moss cleaning guy came and said, "Hey, what the hell, yeah? We'll clean the moss, etc., etc." And this such a I thought to myself, if I've been drinking that water straight from the moss and nothing has happened to me, why the hell should I get the services of this guy? The one piece of wisdom in life is, don't fix something which is not broken. Don't fix something which is not broken. If tap water is serving you fine, why the hell would you spend 20 rupees on buying a liter of Bisleri? and a family of this five will end up spending $100. I have a daughter. She's slightly fancy, and when she comes to my home, I give up. I pretend like I'm opening a Bisleri bottle. Actually, it's tap water, and she says it's Bisleri. I say yeah, it's Bisleri, and it's cold and all that. I make that. She drinks that and says, "Yeah, lovely water, lovely water." She has no idea that is tap water. Make a fool of a fool. Yeah, that's the philosophy of all these companies. They come up with new this thing. Tata Consumer Products runs a premium water company. What is it called? Nourishco, and it also sells Tata Copper water. Have you ever heard of copper water? Now, copper and various micronutrients are available in every kind of food. They take that out and then they introduce copper, and then they say, yeah. And mothers who looking after their children and looking after their skin, etc., and they drink that copper water, that now I'll become um, uh, beautiful, and they look as lousy as ever. Yeah. Well, friends, I think I talk a lot of sense. So stop being stupid. Stop buying bottled water. Well, send this message across, and please subscribe to my channel if you like what I say. So it's time for me to say farewell. See you later, alligator.